WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I have something from Tamdhu. Long time no see for me. It's been about a year or so since I've had a Tamdhu here to review. This is the Amber. Amber is Spanish with the A-M-B-A-R with a little bit of that accent there. And it means amber, that little stone that you find on the beaches here. Whiskybase number 120853. So 120 means it's an old whiskey. This is actually one of the two first whiskeys that Tamdhu actually produced for the global retail travel market or travel retail market. So we actually have here that was in November of 2018 that they actually hit the market with this one, as well as something called the Tamdhu Grand Reserve. That was a no-age whiskey, 150 pounds, and it was only matured in first fill Oloroso. This, on the other hand, yeah, we don't know. It just says here, exclusive matured in sherry oak casks. So we have a lot of refill Oloroso sherry casks here. It's not as dark as the 15. Wait a second. I'm going to pick up the 15 here. And it's 90 euros over here in Germany, and it's 43%. So I'm going to compare it to, I already spoiled it, tease the 15-year-old. I have a little bit left here. Now this is 46% ABV, and it is 15 years old and costs about 10 euros less. So the question of the day is really, why would I buy a whiskey that costs more and yet delivers on facts and figures less? 15 versus 14, 46 versus 43. More first fill American and European oak casks, sherry cask, Oloroso, and more of the refill sherry casks. Why? All right, so if you look at the colors here, you do notice that the 15 is a little bit darker. This is the amber, this is the 15, and there's a difference. Even on here, we have the tasting notes, and I'm going to read both of these here for me real quick. Here on the nose, I should get sultanas, orange cream, and sweet biscuit with welcoming oak spice. Over here, I should be getting apple pastry, spiced currants, orange zest, notes of pineapple, and fennel. All right, so I have never actually, I don't remember ever getting pineapple and fennel in my Tamdhu. So I'm going to start off with the 15 and work over to the 14. This is something I know, something I've tried, something I've had many, many times in my life. This must be the second or third bottle in the last 6 years that I've been doing YouTube here. We did actually a blind taste testing over here in Germany with 15-year-old sherried whiskeys. We had Glenfarclas 15 in there. We had Tamdhu 15 in there. We had Glendronach 15. We had Glenallachie 15. We had I think even Macallan 15 was in there. And we had, I forgot one, Glendronach, Glenallachie, Tamdhu, and what's the winner usually? Glenallachie, Glendronach, and the Glenfarclas 15 was in there as well. And by the way, Glenfarclas 15 and the Tamdhu 15 usually lost. Oh, that was actually... So, and Glendronach and Glenallachie were battling it out the whole time. And so Glenallachie won by a moo, just a tiny, tiny little bit there. At least in our blind tasting challenge with 46 people. All right, so on the nose, this is totally different. This is much brighter. This is much, much fruitier. This is much more of a vanilla. This has European oak. This has dark chocolate. This has the sherry moment. This has a little bit of a vanilla and fruitiness. Which one do I prefer? I would prefer a year more in the cask, and I'd prefer 10 euros less from my wallet to get the whiskey. And I'd prefer 3% more alcohol as well. This smells younger. And I'm not talking about 1 year. I'm talking like this could be a 12-year-old. This could be the 15 or even the 18 sometimes. Now, oh, that is nice. So the distillery, Tamdhu, the sister distillery, Glengoyne. So that's Ian McLeod. McLeod. They are famous here for their sherry cask maturations. But what I didn't know, going back here to that famous book here, the Malt Whiskey Yearbook 2022, is when I look at here, it says, so the owners of Tamdhu, Ian McLeod Distillers, are not only the owner of 3 distilleries associated with single malt, they also have a vast number of blended Scotch brands in their range, and they produce blends for other companies as well. In fact, in terms of volume, more than 90% of the company's sales are blends, with 10 million bottles sold in 2019. If one adds another 5 million bottles of other spirits on top of that, it becomes obvious that warehousing is high on the agenda. And the storage capacity of the warehouse or the headquarters in Bronsban is not enough. So in the past 5 years, they have added another 18 warehouses and Tamdhu to the 10 that were already there. Wow. All right, I must admit that actually impressed me there. So, what else do we have? An on-site cooperage for repairing and testing casks became operational in 2019. Yay. And the production plan for 2021 was the 16 matches per week, which translates into 3.1 million liters for the entire year. Maximum capacity running 24/7 would have been 4 million liters. All right, very, very good. So, I was at the distillery one evening. No visitor center. If you want to visit the distillery, they only do it during the Speyside Whiskey Festival, which I'm at Islay. I very, very, very did not plan that correctly at all. Yeah. So maybe one day, maybe next year, I have to plan to be at the Speyside Whiskey Festival at the time that they do that. Tamdhu has a very, very great marketing team. They're not many, but they're all over the place. They're online. They're on Facebook active. They are at many, many whiskey fairs, at least over here in Germany and so on. So I've met some of the people there. I must admit they're doing very, very good stuff. All right, let's try this whiskey here. So I'll read afterwards what I should have on the palate, or what I could have. Tiny, slight bit of that sulfur from those casks here. I actually have the feeling that we have some rejuvenated casks in here. They have their own cooperage now, and what you can do is recharge those sherry casks. You have an old tired cask, you don't even do the shave, toast it, and recharge. You just maybe even re-char it and then put some sherry in there and you recharge the cask. Doesn't have to go back to Spain now, does it? Interesting, isn't it? Cheers. There is some spicy oak in here. It feels young. It feels like it's a 10, 12-year-old. It doesn't feel like it's 14. It just doesn't have that boom, that sherry bomb moment. It's almost as someone turned down the volume from maybe a 7 to 8 all the way down to 4. And it's quiet. It's not delicate, but it's there. So it says here I should have raspberries. Don't know about that. With ground malt. Have you ever had ground malt? It sounds like ground flour. All right, citrus, yes, toffee, and gingerbread. It's not the dark, deep gingerbread. It's a very light gingerbread. This, on the other hand, I should have juicy apricots. I should have vibrant raspberries. Seems to be raspberries one of those flavor profiles Tamdhu likes to find, with a lemon tart and almonds. This is so much better. This is a C whiskey. This is a C plus whiskey. Both of these whiskeys say natural color. None of these whiskeys say non-chilled filtered. This feels like it's non-chilled filtered. It's got a better mouthfeel. It's more, the 46%, there's more of a viscosity in here. This was a little bit on the watery side. This has much more of that European oak involved here. That sherry moment is there. I have no idea why I should pay more money for less. This is a travel retail exclusive. I'm going through the airport. It's like, oh, okay, good. Look at the box. Oh, look at the color here. Oh, I want to buy it. All right. I have the 15 at home. Okay. 14 has to be almost as good. It's 10 euros more. Nah, why not? Oh, it's 43% instead of 46%. Oh, why not? Okay, it's 14 instead of 15 years. Why not? And you come home and you taste it and you go, well, that's why. So this is a C plus, this is a C, this is a C minus and the value for money at the moment. I would much rather buy a Glenfarclas, I would much rather buy a Glenallachie, I would much rather buy a Glendronach 15 if I can. If I can find them any place at the moment, that's the problem. This, the 90 euros is for me a D, a value for money. It's just not delivering what it should and what it could. Hey. It's different, yay. They added something else to the profile. It is a travel retail exclusive, which means the last 2 years, hardly any of it was sold. Therefore, some of it lands up in Germany and other markets here in Europe that somehow have access to this travel retail stock that should have been at the airports. And then we get to try it and taste it. Question of the day. What is your favorite Tamdhu bottling? Is it the 12? Is it the 15? Is it the cask strength version? Is it? There's so many different things out there that Tamdhu is doing. It's very, very nice. They do have distribution. They are in most countries of the world, I think, that actually have a good single malt selection there. And if I were to actually ask you the question of, would you rather have a Tamdhu or a Glengoyne? Most of us are probably, at least I'm going to go, I think I'm going to go for the Glengoyne. Oh, well. All right, sister distilleries here. Thank you very much. All right, please like, subscribe, tell others, and thank you very much for watching, and all the best. See you soon. Whiskey Jason here. Bye-bye.